or fourth knife. It comes from home cooks who were told a story about craftsmanship and believed it. Number one on this list has been the default serious cook gift in America for 30 years, and the people who actually sharpen knives for a living have a very different opinion of it. And number two, you have almost certainly been pitched this one in person by someone at your front door or at a county fair booth. Everything they told you about why it costs $200 was technically true and practically meaningless. Before we start, hit subscribe because what you are about to learn changes the way you buy forever. Let's count them down. Number 5, the Zwilling Bob Kramer Damascus 8-inch chef's knife. The pitch here is pure theater, a celebrity bladesmith, a Damascus pattern forged from 100 layers of steel, a knife that looks like it belongs in a glass case at the Smithsonian. Bob Kramer is a genuine master bladesmith, that is not in dispute. But what you are buying at Williams-Sonoma is not a Kramer knife. It is a Zwilling mass production product carrying Kramer's name under a licensing agreement. The Damascus layering on this knife is cosmetic. The pattern is etched, not structural, and the cutting performance comes from the SG2 or FC61 steel core at the center. That steel appears in knives priced well under $200. Cooks Illustrated and Serious Eats have both tested comparable Japanese knives at a fraction of this price and rated them higher for everyday performance. At $460, you are buying a countertop conversation piece. If that is what you want, fine, but you are not buying a better knife. Number 4, the Miyabi Birchwood 8-inch chef's knife. Miyabi is made in Seki, Japan, the historic knife-making city. The Birchwood line is genuinely beautiful with a stabilized birch handle and a floral Damascus exterior wrapped around a 63 Rockwell hardness SG2 steel core. Nobody is disputing the craftsmanship. The problem is what that hardness number means for how you actually cook. 63 Rockwell means a blade that takes an extraordinary edge but also chips when you use it the way most American home cooks use their knives, scraping food off the cutting board with the blade, hitting chicken bones, or driving through a hard winter squash. Miyabi's own care instructions warn against hard or frozen foods and recommend hand washing exclusively. You are paying $365 for a knife that requires you to change the way you cook. Most people do not find that out until after the gift receipt expires. Number 3, Shun, the classic and the premier 8-inch chef's knife. Shun has done something impressive. They positioned a genuinely good knife as an accessible entry point into Japanese cutlery, while quietly ensuring it performs best only under specific conditions. These knives sit between $190 and $220, and at that price, the VG Max steel is sharp out of the box, sharper than most German knives at the same price point. But the blade geometry is thin and the steel is hard, which means the edge is fragile in the way all thin, hard Japanese knives are fragile. Shun's own sharpening service exists in part because the knives chip in ways that require more than a honing rod to fix. The America's Test Kitchen team noted that Shun knives reward careful technique and penalize anything less. If you are 50-something and you have been cooking for decades, you already have habits, how you rock a knife, how you hold a squash, what you do when the cutting board is full. Shun will punish several of those habits. The Victorinox you will hear about in a moment will not. Number 2, Cutco, the 7 5/8-inch petite chef. Here is where it gets personal because there is a real chance someone in your family owns one of these. Cutco is America's largest knife company, and they built that position not through culinary credibility, but through one of the most effective direct sales forces in consumer product history. The knife itself is made in Olean, New York from 440A stainless steel, a grade that Victorinox, Mercer, and dozens of other manufacturers also use, typically at prices between $30 and $60. The forever guarantee sounds powerful until you read the terms. Cutco will sharpen or replace the knife, but the sharpening returns a blade to factory geometry, which professional sharpeners at Knifeware and elsewhere describe as mediocre. The handle is thermo-resin, which is fine. The steel is fine. The Made in USA story is real and not nothing, but at nearly $200, you are paying a $90 premium for a sales channel, not a better knife. That money went to the rep who knocked on somebody's door. Number 1, Wüsthof, specifically the premium and upgraded lines, the Performer, the Icon, anything sitting above the standard Classic. Wüsthof Classic is a legitimate kitchen workhorse. Forged in Solingen, Germany, X50 ACRMO V15 steel, 58 Rockwell hardness, full tang, lifetime warranty. This is a knife with a real track record and real professional endorsement. But Wüsthof has built an entire secondary economy on top of that reputation. The Performer line at $295 for the 8-inch chef's knife adds a laser-textured blade coating and a new handle design. The coating is marketed to reduce food sticking, and Wüsthof's own product page acknowledges it will wear with use and sharpening. You are paying $130 over the standard Classic for a surface treatment that disappears. The Classic itself sits between $135 and $200, depending on where you buy it, and that version, the one without the upgrades, is the one that professional kitchens have used for decades. The premium lines are not a better knife. They are a better-looking knife sold to people who already trust the name. Wüsthof knows exactly what they are doing. Here is what actually holds an edge. Number 3, the Mercer Culinary Genesis 8-inch chef's knife. This is the knife culinary schools hand to students on day one. Because culinary schools care about performance and durability and nothing else, it runs around $40 on Amazon. The Genesis is forged from high-carbon German steel with a full tang and a grippy Santoprene handle that does not slip when your hands are wet, which they will be. It is heavy enough to feel serious, balanced enough to use for an hour without hand fatigue, and durable enough that abuse does not destroy it. Wirecutter and America's Test Kitchen have both included Mercer in their budget knife roundups as a genuine recommendation, not a consolation prize. For $40, this is a knife you can use hard, sharpen at home, and replace without grief if something goes wrong. Buy it. Number 2, the Global Classic 8-inch chef's knife. Global has been making this knife in Yoshida, Japan since 1985, and the design has barely changed because it does not need to. Chromova 18 stainless steel, hollow handle filled with sand for balance. Seamless one-piece construction with no crevices for bacteria to collect. The lifetime warranty is genuine. What makes Global worth mentioning specifically for a home cook who has been using German-style knives is the weight shift. Global knives are lighter and more blade-forward than Wüsthof or Henkel's, which means less wrist fatigue during long prep sessions. Serious Eats rated it among the best all-purpose chef's knives available. At $120, it costs less than a Wüsthof Classic and outperforms everything above it on this list that costs twice the price. Number 1, the Victorinox Fibrox Pro 8-inch chef's knife. America's Test Kitchen has named this the best chef's knife you can buy, not the best budget knife, the best knife, full stop, multiple times across multiple years of testing. The blade is stamped, not forged, and that used to be considered a weakness until testers repeatedly found that the Fibrox outcut forged knives costing 4 times as much. The Fibrox handle is ugly. It looks like a knife from a school cafeteria. It is also non-slip, dishwasher safe, and designed to be used by people who cook actual food in actual kitchens rather than displayed on a magnetic strip for guests to admire. Victorinox offers a lifetime guarantee against manufacturer defects. At $43, if it ever fails you, you replace it without a second thought and still have money left over from what you would have spent on a Wüsthof Performer. This is the knife You've probably spent more on a knife than you needed to, or you know someone who has. The industry built that gap between what knives